Welcome to our tribute video, a heartfelt space to honor those who have left a lasting mark on wrestling in our lives. Today, we celebrate their incredible journeys, reflect on their powerful legacies, and cherish the unforgettable moments they gave us. We'll also discuss the latest news about WWE star CM Punk, whose recent challenges have deeply resonated with fans worldwide. Join us in remembering their stories, preserving their impact, and keeping their legacies alive. Subscribe now to be part of this supportive and dedicated community. Steve Bradley, born on October 28, 1973, in Worcester, Massachusetts, was a gifted professional wrestler whose career showed tremendous promise. He began wrestling in the early 1990s, quickly making a name for himself on the independent circuit thanks to his technical ability, agility, and determination. Competing in promotions like the International Wrestling Federation, IWF, and Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, Bradley impressed fans and peers alike with his in-ring talent. In 1998, Bradley's potential earned him a developmental contract with WWE, then WWF. He trained at their Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW facility, where he continued to develop under the guidance of top trainers. While he made brief appearances on WWE programming, he never broke through to the main roster in a significant way. Still, within the industry, Bradley was known as a hard-working and skilled performer who helped mentor younger talent behind the scenes. Despite his talent, Bradley struggled with personal issues, particularly related to substance abuse, an unfortunate reality faced by many in the wrestling world. The intense physical and mental demands of the industry took a toll on him over time, often hindering his career progression. Tragically, Steve Bradley was ruled a drug overdose, a heartbreaking end to a life filled with potential. His passing deeply affected those who knew and worked with him, many of whom continue to speak highly of his character and skill. Bradley's story is both a tribute to his talent and a sobering reminder of the personal battles that many wrestlers endure. Though he never achieved mainstream fame, his legacy endures in the memories of those he inspired, and in the cautionary tale his life has come to represent. Born on August 14, 1958, in Huntsville, Alabama, beautiful Bobby Eaton was a beloved professional wrestler celebrated for his exceptional in-ring skills and natural charisma. He began his career in the late 1970s, and quickly earned a reputation for his agility, technical ability, and crowd-pleasing performances. Throughout the 1980s and early 90s, Eaton became a standout performer in major wrestling promotions such as the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Eaton rose to prominence as one half of the iconic tag team, the Midnight Express. Initially paired with Dennis Condrey and later with Stan Lane, the team, managed by the outspoken Jim Cornette, became one of the most influential tag teams in wrestling history. Known for their creative double-team maneuvers, fast-paced matches, and Eaton's high-flying Eaton Rocket, the Midnight Express thrilled fans across the country. Their legendary rivalries with teams like the Rock and Roll Express and the Fantastics set new standards for tag team wrestling. While Eaton shined brightest in tag team competition, he was also admired for his versatility in singles matches. His ability to adapt to different wrestling styles made him a reliable and respected performer among his peers. Inside the ring, he was a technician. Outside it, he was known for his humility and kindness. Bobby Eaton, but his legacy endures. He inspired a generation of wrestlers and left a lasting impression on fans with his unforgettable performances and dedication to the craft. Remembered as one of the smoothest workers in wrestling history, beautiful Bobby remains a timeless figure whose contributions helped shape professional wrestling into what it is today. His memory continues to live on through the athletes he influenced and the fans he entertained. Bray Wyatt, born Wyndham Lawrence Rotunda on May 23, 1987, in Brooksville, Florida, was one of WWE's most imaginative and captivating superstars. Coming from a rich wrestling lineage, his father was Mike Rotunda, IRS, and his grandfather, was the legendary Blackjack Mulligan. Wyatt embraced the family legacy, but forged his own unforgettable path. He began his WWE journey in developmental territory, Florida Championship Wrestling, FCW, under the name Husky Harris. However, it was his transformation into Bray Wyatt, the eerie, cryptic leader of the Wyatt family, that made him a standout performer. With haunting promos, a Southern Gothic flair, and psychological mind games, Wyatt became one of the most enigmatic figures in WWE. The Wyatt family, which included Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Brody Lee, and later Braun Strowman, terrorized WWE with their intense presence and storytelling. In 2019, Wyatt reinvented himself once more, debuting The Fiend, a monstrous alter ego with a chilling mask and brutal persona. This new character blurred the lines between horror and wrestling, captivating audiences and delivering some of WWE's most unique moments. From lantern-lit entrances to unsettling Firefly Funhouse segments, Wyatt redefined what character work could be. During his career, Wyatt won multiple championships, including the WWE and Universal titles. His work was celebrated for its depth, originality, and risk-taking, earning him a loyal fan base and critical acclaim. Tragically, Bray Wyatt, leaving a profound void in the wrestling world. His legacy endures through his unforgettable characters, groundbreaking creativity, and the inspiration he gave to fans and fellow wrestlers alike. Bray Wyatt wasn't just a performer, he was a storyteller who changed the game forever. Candy Devine, born on January 1st, 1959, was a pioneering figure in professional wrestling whose influence helped shape the landscape of women's wrestling during a pivotal era. Leaving behind a legacy marked by athleticism, charisma, and a commitment to elevating the role of women in the sport. Devine rose to prominence in the 1980s and 1990s, competing in a number of major promotions, including the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. Known for her dynamic blend of technical skill and showmanship, she captivated audiences around the world. Her style balanced grace with grit, allowing her to stand toe-to-toe with some of the toughest and most talented women in the industry. Throughout her career, Candy Devine captured multiple women's championships across various promotions. These victories were more than just title wins. They were milestones in a time when opportunities for women in wrestling were limited. Her success served as proof that female wrestlers could be headliners and role models. Beyond the ring, Devine was beloved for her mentorship and kindness. She dedicated time to helping younger talent navigate the industry, offering guidance and encouragement with a generous spirit. Her positive attitude and unwavering dedication made her a respected figure, not just among fans, but also among her peers. Candy Devine's passing was met with heartfelt tributes from across the wrestling world. She is remembered not only for her achievements in the ring, but also for breaking barriers and opening doors for future generations of female wrestlers. Her influence remains deeply felt, and her legacy endures as a trailblazer who helped shape the path for women in professional wrestling. Rex Bacchus, born on December 27, 1967, in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, was a respected professional wrestler whose career left a lasting mark on the wrestling world. Known for his charismatic presence and strong in-ring abilities, Bacchus made his name in both Canadian and American wrestling circuits. He began his wrestling journey in the late 1980s, starting in local promotions, where he honed his craft and developed a reputation for his work ethic and passion for the sport. As his skills grew, Bacchus transitioned to larger promotions, impressing fans and peers alike with his blend of technical ability and commanding stage presence. His style was both adaptable and entertaining, allowing him to thrive across a variety of wrestling environments. Bacchus competed in several promotions throughout his career, including the Canadian independent scene and various U.S. territories. His high-energy performances and versatile approach earned him the admiration of wrestling fans and made him a standout figure in every promotion he joined. Beyond his in-ring success, Bacchus was also deeply committed to mentoring the next generation of wrestlers. He spent significant time training young talent, offering guidance, and sharing the knowledge he had gained throughout his career. His dedication to helping others grow in the industry further solidified his status as a respected figure in the wrestling community. Rex Bacchus, was mourned across the wrestling world, with many remembering him not just for his achievements in the ring, but for his generosity, mentorship, and enduring passion for the sport. Bacchus leaves behind a legacy built on talent, heart, and a deep commitment to professional wrestling and its future stars. Scott Hall, born October 20th, 1958, in St. Petersburg, Florida, was a transformative figure in professional wrestling, known for his charisma, smooth in-ring style, and the unforgettable catchphrase, "Hey yo!" Hall rose to fame in WWE, then WWF, as Razor Ramon, a tough, swaggering character inspired by Scarface, complete with gold chains, a Cuban accent, and unmatched confidence. As Razor, he captured multiple Intercontinental Championships and became a fan favorite thanks to his charm and magnetic presence. However, Hall's true impact came in 1996 when he jumped to WCW and helped launch the revolutionary New World Order, NWO, alongside Kevin Nash and later Hulk Hogan. This move ignited the legendary Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWE, ushering in a boom period for the wrestling industry. Hall's cool demeanor and rebellious style made him one of the faces of the NWO and a central figure in wrestling's most talked-about era. Outside the ring, Hall struggled with personal demons, particularly alcohol and drug addiction. His battles were well documented and often overshadowed his career achievements. Yet, with the support of friends like Diamond Dallas Page, Hall fought to reclaim his health and legacy, becoming a symbol of redemption for many fans and fellow wrestlers. Tragically, Scott Hall, following complications from hip surgery that led to multiple heart attacks, his was deeply felt across the wrestling world, especially by his son, Cody Hall, and legions of fans. Despite his struggles, Hall's legacy endures, not only as a champion and NWO pioneer, but as a man who helped reshape the wrestling business and found the strength to rise again. Razor Ramon may be gone, but the legend lives forever. CM Punk, a name that still echoes in arenas, locker rooms, and fans' hearts alike, is more than just a wrestler. He's a renegade philosopher of the squared circle, a walking middle finger to authority, and a master of microphone and mat alike. But for all his verbal sharpness and in-ring brilliance, another storyline has haunted his career: injury. Whether it's his body taking the brunt of his early days in gritty indie promotions, or the wear and tear of WWE's grueling schedule, or even the unpredictable stumbles of his MMA and AEW chapters, Punk has walked a path riddled with physical pain. But through it all, one theme stands strong: perseverance. This article takes a closer, comprehensive look at the true history of CM Punk's injuries, what's been confirmed, what's been misreported, and how those battles shaped the man many still call the best in the world. Created before WWE, the indie circuit's relentless toll, before CM Punk became a household name in WWE, he cut his teeth in the fierce, bloody battlegrounds of the independent wrestling scene. From Ring of Honor, ROH, to IWA Mid-South, Punk was known for his intensity and refusal to take nights off. But that very work ethic came at a price. In those days, Punk was involved in grueling Iron Man matches, high-risk ladder bouts, and ultra-violent clashes with opponents like Raven and Samoa Joe. Many of these matches were no DQ bloodbaths or technically demanding marathons. The impact on his body was obvious: frequent concussions, back pain, and joint soreness. But unlike WWE's injury protocols, independent circuits offered little downtime. Punk pushed on. He didn't complain, didn't rest, and didn't heal. The long-term consequences would come to light years later, but the foundation for physical wear had already been set before he even signed his WWE contract. WWE years, high stakes, high pain knee, and elbow injuries. The persistent problems. Once in WWE, Punk's style didn't get any easier. He maintained a high-octane approach, incorporating flying elbows, springboard maneuvers, and Muay Thai-style strikes. This took a particular toll on two parts of his body, his knees and elbows. In 2010 and 2011, he quietly dealt with minor knee strains and cartilage inflammation. Punk often downplayed his injuries to avoid being taken off TV. But behind the scenes, these flare-ups became chronic. He began wearing compression sleeves and braces, especially during house shows, though most fans remained unaware. The most serious knee-related incident occurred in late 2012, during his historic 434-day WWE Championship reign. Punk sustained a legitimate knee injury that required arthroscopic surgery. WWE took him off the road briefly, an unusual break for Punk, who was rarely absent from weekly programming. Despite warnings from doctors, Punk returned quicker than expected, working matches against Ryback and The Shield while still visibly limited. In hindsight, Punk admitted in interviews that he probably returned too soon, more out of a sense of duty than readiness. The infamous staph infection, a silent danger. No discussion of CM Punk's health history is complete without the staph infection controversy, a health scare that arguably changed the trajectory of his career and his relationship with WWE. In a now famous 2014 podcast interview with Colt Cabana, Punk revealed that he had been wrestling for months with what turned out to be an untreated staph infection on his lower back. Despite repeated complaints, Punk claimed WWE's medical team dismissed the abscess as a simple, fatty deposit. The infection caused extreme fatigue, nausea, and pain, yet he was told to tough it out. Eventually, Punk saw an independent doctor who immediately identified the infection as staph and performed a painful drainage procedure. The story sent shockwaves across the wrestling world. WWE's physician, Dr. Chris Amann, filed a defamation lawsuit against Punk and Cabana. The trial ended in Punk's favor, but the damage was done. Fans were now questioning WWE's medical oversight, while Punk's bitterness toward the company deepened. It wasn't just a medical misstep, it became symbolic of a system that, in Punk's view, prioritized profits over performers. Post-WWE, the MMA chapter and physical repercussions. After leaving WWE in 2014, Punk shocked the world by announcing a career shift, mixed martial arts. Signing with the UFC despite no professional fighting experience, Punk knew he was in for a physically brutal endeavor, but he was determined to prove his toughness in a new arena. His MMA training at Rufusport in Milwaukee was intense. It involved daily sparring, conditioning drills, and learning striking and grappling from scratch. The grind took its toll. Punk sustained bruised ribs, strained muscles, and minor ligament injuries just preparing for his UFC debut. In his first fight in 2016 against Mickey Gall, Punk was defeated in just over 2 minutes. The loss was swift and humbling, but not without physical consequences. He took several stiff punches and underwent tests afterward for facial bruising and jaw soreness. His second fight in 2018 ended in a similar fashion, this time against Mike Jackson. Again, Punk absorbed heavy shots and was visibly shaken post-fight. While no long-term injuries were reported from either bout, the cumulative effect of training and competition left his body in a fragile state. AEW return, a hero's comeback, a body that couldn't keep up. In 2021, CM Punk made a sensational return to professional wrestling, this time with All Elite Wrestling, AEW. The pop he received in Chicago at AEW Rampage was thunderous, emotional, and triumphant. But while his passion was undiminished, his body was another story. Punk had been out of the ring for over 7 years. Wrestling isn't like riding a bike. It demands cardio, timing, muscle memory, and resilience. And Punk quickly found out that the years away had taken their toll. Broken foot in 2022. The unlucky championship injury in June 2022, shortly after winning the AEW World Championship, Punk suffered a serious injury, a broken foot. The injury occurred while jumping into the crowd during a Dynamite appearance, something that looked harmless but resulted in severe damage. The diagnosis required surgery to repair the bones, and Punk had to vacate the title. He spent several months in recovery and physical therapy. When he returned, fans noticed subtle changes in his footwork and wrestling approach. Punk adopted a slightly slower pace and relied more on ground-based grappling, a sign he was adapting to his physical limits. Though he regained the AEW title in his return match, the whispers about Punk's durability had already begun. The 2024 Royal Rumble tragedy, torn triceps. On January 27, 2024, CM Punk entered the WWE Royal Rumble to a roaring ovation, following his shocking return to the company just 2 months prior. Fans were expecting a major WrestleMania storyline, potentially involving Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns. But fate had other plans. During the Rumble match, Punk suffered a torn triceps, a devastating injury that immediately took him out of action. The injury occurred during a routine bump, highlighting just how fragile the human body can become over time. The triceps tear required surgery, including reattachment of the tendon to the bone, followed by months of immobilization and rehab. For any wrestler, especially one over 40, this type of injury is a mountain to climb. WWE announced Punk would miss WrestleMania 40, throwing plans into disarray and breaking the hearts of fans hoping to see a long-awaited payoff to his return. Despite the seriousness of the injury, Punk remained upbeat in interviews and social media updates. "I've been hurt before, I'll be back," he said, true to form. Assorting fact from fiction, injury rumors addressed CM Punk's legacy comes with as much controversy as acclaim. Over the years, the internet has churned out countless rumors about his health. Some true, others wildly exaggerated. Let's break down a few of the most common ones. Rumor: CM Punk's career is over. False. Following his triceps tear, several outlets prematurely reported that Punk's career was finished. Some cited his age, others his injury history. But there's no official word from Punk or WWE that he's retiring. In fact, Punk himself has indicated that he fully intends to return once healed. While the recovery window is long, typically 6 to 9 months, Punk's track record suggests he won't let this be the end. Rumor: Punk suffers from a chronic autoimmune disease. False. Another baseless rumor circulated in online forums suggesting Punk suffers from an autoimmune disease that prevents long-term athletic performance. There is no verified medical evidence to support this. While Punk has openly discussed mental health challenges and burnout, there is no indication that he has any chronic illness affecting his ability to wrestle. Confirmed: the staph infection and torn triceps. True. 2 major injuries Punk has publicly confirmed are the staph infection during his WWE tenure and the torn triceps in 2024. Both required professional treatment and time away from the ring, and both illustrate the real toll wrestling can take, even on a competitor as driven as Punk. The price of being the best in the world injury is a constant companion in wrestling. Few careers are untouched by it, but in Punk's case, the relationship with pain has been especially complicated because he's often refused to let it slow him down. From working matches with a staph infection, to wrestling just months after knee surgery, to stepping into a UFC octagon with 0 fight history, CM Punk has consistently risked his body for his principles. Some call it foolish, others call it brave. Punk would probably call it necessary. What's next? As of May 2025, CM Punk remains sidelined, still recovering from his triceps surgery. His return timetable is unclear. WWE has reportedly left the door open for a major return storyline, possibly targeting SummerSlam or a fall comeback leading into WrestleMania 41. But even if Punk doesn't return to the ring, his impact is permanent. He shattered the glass ceiling for indie wrestlers in WWE. He fought publicly for performer health, and he gave voice to those who felt marginalized in a corporate machine. CM Punk's body may be bruised, battered, and surgically repaired, but his legacy stands unbroken. Or final word, Punk never backs down. In a career filled with chants, cheers, courtrooms, and comebacks, CM Punk's relationship with pain tells its own story. He's been knocked down, counted out, and even written off. But somehow, he keeps walking back through that curtain. Whether it's in a Chicago arena, an octagon, or a WrestleMania stage, one truth remains. CM Punk doesn't go quietly. He fights, always. And win or lose, that's what makes him the best in the world.